But okay, let's start with. I want to start with this one. I was debating on starting with this because I was like, this might be a little bit of a heavy one to start with, but who cares? I don't have the green screen on today. Didn't feel like pulling it up. But this is the allegations are back. Cody Co, Wilbur Scoot, George is not found by Tom Dark. Now, I don't know if this is about just Cody Co. I don't know if this is about like Cody Co and all the other guys. All I know is that Cody Co got allegations. I didn't watch him like that. I seen like some of his Jubilee stuff. I'm a little jealous, I'm not gonna lie, because I used to watch Jubilee on for videos, and then they were like, hey, no one can react to her stuff no more. But then Cody Co can still react to it. So, you know, I feel like Jubilee's being a little bit biased. But who am I? Who am I? If you enjoy any part of this video, make sure to leave down below in the description of this YouTube video. I'm talking to the YouTube watchers, not to you guys don't have a chat at the description, so you guys already know I'm not talking to you. But anyway, let's watch this video.
Today's a sad day on the internet for fans of Cody Co and the TMG podcast. Things recently said on the podcast could be the final nail in the coffin for Cody and his illustrious career. What did he say this time? Well,
hey, it's me, Cody Co, Mamma Mia.
I'm gonna hope that was a joke, because if I'm watching this video and I end up just getting pranked, I'm gonna do 3 backflips off of this chair. If this is a prank and I'm about to sit here and watch this and I think like, I'm just kidding, no, wow, gotcha. 3 backflips.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Tom Dark Show. I'm your host, Gay Communist Tom. White Boy Summer is officially over. I'm renouncing my racist ways. Tell that pussycat girl me know what. And the allegations are also back. In the past few months, we've had a series of allegations in the YouTube community to
the only one I kind of know is George is not found. That's the only one I kind of know, but I'm hoping that he gives me some clarification.
Varying degrees of legitimacy. We had Shelby Shubble accusing Wilbur Soot. We had Katie Bugs accusing George not found. We had Chugga Conroy being accused of extreme gooning. It feels like every week we're—
Is that a crime though? Is that a crime to goon too close to the sun? Is it? I don't think it is.
We're getting a new story, a new allegation. They're evolving. And just recently, Cody Co has found himself in some hot water.
That's what I'm feeling. I have a moist undercarriage.
I don't know what they're accusing him of, but he might have did it. He might have did it. Using the word moist by itself is kind of red flag, but undercarriage, that don't sit right.
For today's video, let's just say that.
Well, today I thought it would be fun to run back through all these allegations, to recap them, and then see where we are now with these stories, because they've all come back. Everybody is posting updates, and Cody Co is being accused right now for the first time ever. Also, we're going to put timestamps in the description down below if you just want to see one part of this video. Okay, let's go.
He fucking set me up.
Also, we're going to—
Cody Co's the last act. I came here for that. But we're going to sit through all of it.
Put timestamps in the description down below if you just want to see one part of this video. Okay, let's go. We're going to start out today with Wilbur Soot, everyone's favorite soft boy, the softest boy on YouTube.
I'm going to be real. Anyone that, any guy on this platform that classifies himself as like a soft boy or like a little guy. Like, I know I call myself like, I'm just a guy. I'm just a little guy. But I'm doing it for you know, the lulz, for the haha. The guys that actually call themselves a soft boy, though, what the? I'm trying not to curse. I'm trying not to curse because I don't want to have to censor them out. What the freak are you doing? Soft boy? You're a flaccid boy? What does that even mean? Why would you even go by that?
Most understanding of—
if there are soft boys, then I'm a hard boy. Never mind.
Women guy on YouTube, okay? He gets you. If you're a woman, he gets you. I don't. He does. I actually hate people who dress and look like this, whatever this is.
Hold on. Okay, I don't know about the sweater vest with the short sleeve combo. That's not me. But the second photo kind of cool. And no, I'm not just saying that because I wore something similar. Okay, I'm saying that because I wore something similar, but it's still kind of cool.
It reminds me of like Nick is Not Green or Ethan is on.
Never wearing it again. I'm never wearing it again. That's the last time ever.
Online, it's like that kind of person. Never thought I'd be racist against white people, but here we are. Just kidding. So Wilbur Soot originally came from this channel called Soot House that I remember way back in the day, where he and his friends would react to funny Reddit posts at a time when that content was dominating YouTube. Actually, back in the day, I had made like a video calling these guys content and Wilbur Soot actually, I think he commented on the video or something. He was like, hey man, nice video. I kind of agree. And then from there, he became exponentially more famous than all of his collaborators through like general gaming content, lifestyle content. He's playing Minecraft, right? He's collabing with Dream and
now, what are the odds that he plays Minecraft, right? He's famous, and he's over the age of 18. What are the odds that he has allegations for talking to minors? I am taking bets. I'm putting 5 buckaroos on my own table that there's something to do with minors in this story. There's a minor involved in this plot.
Tommy ended in Quackity. He got to be huge. I mean, most of the people from Soot House don't really have a following anymore. He has like 5 million subscribers. And as I said, Wilbur built his brand on being a soft boy, okay? Which I looked up the definition here, so I'm experienced, okay? I know all the ins and outs. I'm informing you guys. A soft boy is a male-identifying individual. Male-identifying, keep in mind. Male-identifying individual that displays more tender traits from how they act to how they dress that are stereotypically associated with the feminine. You know, they wear these like pastel sweaters and like these little like big frame glasses. They basically dress like...
Okay. I was a little afraid. But he stopped me at glasses.
Kind of a fairy is the deal. Kind of a Tinkerbell vibe going on. And as his channel grew, he explored even more creative avenues, okay? He's a creative guy. He's an artist. He had his own songs, like Your New Boyfriend, and he had the song called I'm in Love with an E-Girl. And these songs...
What is up with, like, YouTubers and, like, becoming musicians? Like, whether that's rap or music or pop or whatever. Like, what is this avenue? I guess, like, it's the entertainment aspect. I guess, like, being an entertainer, like... You're gonna only progress through entertainment avenues. When is it gonna be like a YouTuber's like, yeah, I'm a YouTuber, but I'm also a construction worker, and I just built this orphanage, you know? I mean, I could be the first, but I won't.
Became like actual hits. If you don't know, they got like tens of millions of views on YouTube. And because of his musical passion, he eventually formed his own band called Lovejoy. They're like a British indie rock band. He's the founding member, he's the singer. And all these projects put together, I mean, basically made him one of the most famous people on the internet for a while. He transcended the YouTuber label, okay? He escaped the YouTube bubble to become like a true artist. He went on tour and stuff like that. And it built him a channel of 6 million subscribers in total. And the initial brand was definitely...
I want to hear one of his songs, but like... I'm gonna wait to see if Tom Dark put me on to something.
Tied to like Minecraft content and the Dream SMP, but like I said, he transcended that to do other stuff, to be a famous music guy. I actually listened to some of the songs from Lovejoy, and you know what? They're not half bad. I can't, you know, for YouTuber music, they're certainly not that bad. And it's through this Minecraft content that back in the day, he met this girl named Shelby Shovel. She's been on the platform for a long time, like since the Sky Does Minecraft days, she's been around. And
interesting you referenced Sky Does Minecraft, another Minecraft YouTuber who had very dangerous allegations. Are we seeing a reference, perhaps?
They dated for a while, and then they broke up. And in February of 2024,
I didn't want to say nothing because I don't like talking about people's looks that often, but this is such an unflattering photo of this man. Like, why are you doing? Like, I hate bringing up Jeffrey Dahmer. But if I was at a bar and he started to make small talk with me, I would kind of disengage for fear of my own safety.
They dated for a while, and then they broke up. And in February of 2024, the year of our Lord and Savior, she went live on her Twitch channel and made accusations about Wilbur. Now, at the time, she didn't name him. She didn't say who it was. But she did, you know, clearly outline that it was someone she'd been in a relationship with. People pretty quickly figured it out. And then once they figured it out, she publicly was like, yeah, it's him. You know, it's definitely him. But it wasn't just like any kind of accusation. It was accusations of physical domestic abuse. And beyond that, it also wasn't a typical domestic abuse allegation. Because usually when you hear a story like that, it's like Chris Brown, you know, going to town on Brianna's face. It's that kind of...
It is like I mean, rightfully so, but like, no, wait, no. I didn't mean rightfully so that he hit her. I meant like rightfully so that he is the first thing that pops in. Okay, wait. Everyone just, let's just all stop for a second. Let me explain myself, okay? I do this thing where I'm about to say something and then I jump ahead to what I'm gonna say after it, and then I'm gonna come back, and then I continue my sentence as if I already said it. What I was gonna say is that it's crazy that whenever we think of domestic violence, Chris Brown's one of the first people we think of. And then I was gonna say rightfully so, because he did that. Alright? Okay, we all clear? Alright, I'm not gonna open Twitter and I'm done. I still have a chance? Okay, cool. But it's crazy. It's crazy that that he is the first thing that pops in people's head when we think of domestic violence. But again, rightfully so. But I mean, like, I'm sure there's some other cases we can like start referencing. It's like the whole like Hitler thing, where it's like when people think of like the worst person, they go straight to Hitler. It's like there's a few other people we can pick from. I just feel like saying Chris Brown's kind of played out. We just need to diversify, you know. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that we can't judge him. I'm just saying that we just need to pick and pull some new cases.
Thing, but this was a different story. This was about biting. He was biting her.
When I hear about
This nigga might be Jeffrey Dahmer. Wait a minute. I might have been right about him. He might have been Jeffrey Dahmer. I might have been onto something. Cause what the fuck? Look, I've been with people that like bit me, like nibbled on me, not like in a domestic way where like they're trying to take bites out of me, but for this to be what she pulled for a domestic violence allegation, this nigga was chomping. He wasn't nibbling, he was going to town. What?
physical abuse, I think of hitting. I think of hitting and punching. So I thought that this wasn't violent enough to be abuse. I thought that it was just like a constant accident that he kept hurting me. But he's not hitting me. And it didn't start as something that he did to hurt me. He had this habit of biting, which is so weird to me now. But he said that he had...
I'm trying not to smile. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to smile. That's so mean. That's so disrespectful. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Shovel. I'm not trying to let... The reason why I'm thinking this is so funny is because imagine they fighting, right? I'm Wilbur. I'm Wilbur, right? Right here, Wilbur, right? And you're Shovel. I'm like, no, why can't you just block him though? Why can't you just block? I don't get it. Why don't you just block him? Man, what the... Living the IRL FNAF jump scare. Damn. Living that William Afton treatment. God damn.
had this habit since he was a kid, and even his mom said that that was true. And he said it was just affectionate, and that might have been... I mean, I think that might have...
Well, what's the context of him biting you, right? Because, like, I'm assuming it's like you guys are fighting. He's like, you know? But if he's just like... If y'all just chilling, like, nibble, chomp. Nigga might be Jeffrey Dahmer still. But I would argue that it might not be as crazy.
been true maybe at the start, but I also feel that I have good reason to believe that every part of it was a lie, but that's just my personal opinion.
According to Shelby, Wilbur began the relationship by love bombing, which is the act of an abuser to enter a relationship with someone to get their guard down, you know, make them be all lovey-dovey and comfortable with them. And then they begin their behavior.
Wait, what is... Wait. Let me correct my dialect on love bombing. Shut up, AI. I'm not trying to read what you gotta say. I want to see the real people on the internet. Love bombing is characterized by excessive attention, admiration, and affection with the goal to make recipients feel dependent and obligated to that person. I mean, I guess it depends on what she is describing as the love bombing, but if it's the beginning of the relationship, I don't know. I would say that would be more of a, you know, it's new, it's fresh, your lovey-dovey honeymoon phase type of thing. Because I would imagine love bombing is the consistency of doing it after doing something wrong, right? So, like, if he, like, bit a fucking bite out of her, took a chunk out of her. Sorry, I forgot I wasn't supposed to curse. Took a freaking bite out of her. And then was like, oh, I'm sorry, I love you so much, blah, 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 here, let me buy you this. Like, consistently, or even just, like, one time. But I feel like that would be love bombing. But if it's just, like, he started off the relationship really lovey-dovey and then it kind of faded, or, like, he just stopped being as lovey-dovey, I don't know. Maybe there's more to this.
Slowly over time, right? It happens slowly by exposing that person to that abusive behavior. So he would bite her and she thought it was playful. Apparently this is the thing everybody knew about in like their friend group, and his mom knew about it. They knew Wilbur was a
I'm saying this shit right now. I'm putting this shit on the table right now. If I'm hanging out with my friend and his girl's there and they're like, stop. You know how fast someone's perception could change in your mind? Like that. That's how fast. That's how fast your perception would change in my mind. So please, to all my friends out there, don't do that in the same room as me. Keep that in your own private life, please.
biter. He was Wilbur Chomper. And it was at first a friendly thing, and she was okay with it. She consented. But it would become more and more intense to the point that he was actually physically hurting her, and he wouldn't stop regardless. He was like, "This is who I am." Even though they had a safe word that was agreed on, she claimed that he would frequently disregard it to bite her.
And he disguised it as this really quirky part of our relationship and was so comfortable sharing it with his friends to the point that he would do it in front of them. He thought it was this really funny story to tell and a good bit to take my arm and bite me in front of everybody until I literally shout in pain. And then I have to laugh it off.
She says she...
I'm gonna be so... I don't like making this about this. I don't. I hate doing that. But if I saw a black guy doing this... You remember when Aang in Avatar The Last Airbender fought Ozai, and at the end he was like, "You won't be able to use this bending to hurt anyone else." I would commune with the ancestral plane and find the Panther God, and then ask if I could then take the melanin away from black people who do not deserve it. Right? And then I would proceed to then go up to that said black person, put my thumb directly on their frontal lobe, and remove their melanin. Right? Where that melanin is going to go afterwards, who knows? Melanin cannot be created nor destroyed. It's somewhere out there. Maybe I'll just absorb and get darker. But black people, just don't do that. Now, if you're light skinned or mixed, that's up your alley. I'm not. That's not my jurisdiction. That's on your leader of that specific thing. But yeah, black people, don't let me catch y'all doing that, or I will take your melanin.
She's continually expressing in the relationship that it's painful for her, but he continued to do it without expressing remorse. She had like bruises all over her arms, allegedly, okay, in her words, which he would poke fun at among their friends. So I guess like their entire friend group was aware of this going on and how uncomfortable it was for her.
And he even felt so comfortable showing off my bruises that he had caused to our friends because he would bite me so hard by accident. By accident, he would even joke that it looked like he abused me. She
said in this stream that every day they...
I want to make it... I'm not laughing because I think it's funny. I'm laughing because this predicament is so odd, right? Do you think that he was sitting there like, yeah, look at this bruise. I'm so quirky. I bit her way too hard. And her friend's like, man, it looks like you abused her. He's like, no, it sure does.
Spent together in person, he would continue harming her, and they even had conversations at which point she would ask him to stop. She'd be like, "I don't like this," and he would just be like, "Well, this is just who I am, so take it or leave it." At this point, Shelby didn't provide any evidence for the allegations outside of what she said in this stream. So my biggest question at the time was like, is this real? Like, should I defend this guy? Like, I don't really know. There's no evidence yet. So ultimately for me, it was like, we got to wait to see how he responds to make a verdict. Well, he did eventually respond on February 27th of 2024 with a big statement, and it wasn't that good. It wasn't a very good response. He opens up by saying that like her feelings are valid, basically, right? Which, if he thinks he's falsely accused, is not the kind of thing you want to say. He says, "In the past week, a series of allegations have been made over my conduct from an ex-girlfriend. I want to emphasize that, although I feel it fair to offer my perspective, this person's feelings are completely valid. During our relationship's final months, I regrettably became slobbish, disrespectful, and selfish. These actions caused a lot of pain to my ex-girlfriend, and I've since sought therapy to address these behaviors. I have come to realize how much my past behavior hurt this person, but I truly, compassionately believe I have made great strides for the person I was, and hope I can continue to grow and improve on this trajectory."
But why is you biting nigga? A nigga's it's not a curse word, but I shouldn't be saying as much as I do. Why are you biting people? Like what? Why? Like address that. Why are you biting people? I want you to sit down and turn on that webcam and do the whole YouTuber sad apology thing where you're like, hey guys, do all that, and I want you to really break down why are you biting people? Like what's up? Are you part pit bull? Are you part cupcake? Why are you biting people? Like, piece it together for me. Show me the bigger picture.
So here it's like he's admitting he was a shitty boyfriend, basically. But then he goes on to be like, well, actually, I didn't really abuse her. He says, the allegation of abuse, particularly in the form of biting, deeply shocked me. Throughout our relationship, I understood from our numerous conversations and text message exchanges on the subject that this behavior was consensual, playful, and reciprocally enjoyed. I truly believe those personal message exchanges reflect mutual affection and understanding. So he's basically saying here that he has, like, screenshot
Wait, there was more.
exchanges
I want to read the rest. Is Tom Dark going to read the rest for me? He might.
Mutual affection and understanding. So he's basically saying here that he has like screenshots of her saying that she's cool with it, saying that she didn't express any discomfort, but he's not releasing it for some reason. The next part of this is he says, out of respect for her, I choose not to publish them, and I emphasize my perspective is not shared to diminish or invalidate anyone's feelings. But the thing is, like, if you think you're being falsely accused,
you know what? In a weird way, this, like, that makes sense. This makes sense. If he's supposed to be a self-proclaimed soft boy, it makes sense that he's gonna be like, I mean, I didn't do it, but like, it's valid. Like, obviously, I love women coming out. Like, go you, woman. But like, it's valid. But I'm a different guy. I'm not like the others. It's like, it makes sense, but in the same way, it's like, if this happened to me, if I nibbled on my partner or my ex-partner, and it was like he abused me by biting me, I'm like, what the hell? Here's 55 screenshots about how she was like, yeah, bite me, eat me like an animatronic. Rawr.
and you think you didn't abuse someone, why would you be like, well, also her feelings are valid? Like, that's a completely thing to say. These things can't coexist. Like, because if she wasn't genuinely abused, her feelings are invalid. If she was abused, then they're valid. But for whatever reason, he won't produce these screenshots if they even exist, and it was ultimately his death sentence. Basically, every creator came out and was like, you're a piece of shit. Here we've got this person named, how the f do you say this name? Astor? And they made an entire thread of content creators who spoke out against Wilbur Soot. Here we have Sneeg Snag, the father, saying, a majority of this is full of ways you've claimed to have grown and changed since this happened, but you've basically made what should be an apology of the pain you caused someone about yourself, while barely saying anything else about it, and that speaks volumes. We've got this tweet by Amesy saying, you started this off defending yourself by claiming you've changed, making it about you, then left the most simple, yet most important thing for last, an apology. And even then, your apology isn't an apology, you left it at for any pain I've caused, which lacks any accountability. And this Amesy reply got 115,000 likes, and the initial statement got 60,000 likes, not even 60,000. So it was a brutal ratio. Meanwhile, his stans, who really wanted to believe he was a good person because they were parasocially attached to him, they were literally melting down. Like, his extremely parasocial audience.
Like, if I was getting canceled, right, for whatever reason, right, if I was getting canceled, and the only people that were defending me had a My Little Pony profile picture, just sit this one out, okay, just on the bench for 5 minutes. I'll handle it. You can get back in the game soon. You know, Pinkie Pie is not saving you from this Wilbur suit. I almost call him Scott. Pinkie Pie is not saving you at all. Pinkie Pie, no eat pie.
Was
wonderful.
Not having a good time being able to handle the idea that he was a piece of shit. Now, keep in mind, you can forgive a lot of these kids because that's what they are. A lot of his audience is children that came from the Minecraft days. So to an extent, it makes sense that they'd be so outraged that some content creator they looked up to turned out to be a bad person. You know, they weren't around for the earlier Minecraft allegations. They don't know. They don't know the Minecraft lore, boys and girls. Now, what Shovel said was pretty bad in and of itself. Like, it was a very damning allegation, I would say, for Wilbur, for his audience. But things got even worse when another ex-girlfriend of his, well, someone who claims to be his ex-girlfriend, Alice, claimed that they had dated for a brief time. She reconsidered getting back together with him, and after meeting up, according to her, he got her drunk, took her to his house, and then as she was blacking out because she's drunk, he undressed her, and that's the last thing.
There's so many things I want to say, but I don't know which comes first. So I'm just gonna move along.
Thing that she remembered, which is basically an allegation of full-on
Great.
I mean, that's kind of what's implied here, right? So past this point, more creators continue to pile on to affirm the allegations, to criticize his response, which in fairness, his response wasn't good. Dream himself comes out against this guy. He claims that Wilbur took accountability for being slobbish, disrespectful, and selfish, while overshadowing the physically abusive actions and claiming to be completely reformed. He says, "You seem to truly think you did nothing abusive, and the statement is built on that foundation. You are being dishonest with yourself, or dishonest with us, or..."
Like, that's so embarrassing. Like, I was like thinking about it. I was ruminating on it for a few minutes, and that is so embarrassing. Like I would rather be exposed for like physical abuse, like punching, than biting. You know what I mean? Because like you're still abusing either way. Like you're two evils. Like there's like barely a lesser, but to be biting. Yeah, you lost me completely.
Or both. CPK here says, "I think the focus of what this statement should have been on is totally off. This appears that the main focus is yourself and your growth, and less for the person who is abused. A sincere apology should have been at the forefront of what you posted." So like I said, you have AIMZ calling him out, Brooke from 100 Thieves, who's a famous person, called him out, even Lil Tay, okay? Rice Gum girl, Lil Tay.
Recently, this broke boy named Rice Gum, Rice Dumb, what are his irrelevant ass names?
She's too much rice gum.
Narcissism at its finest, and she's actually been tweeting a lot lately. She's grown her Twitter account quite a bit from tweeting things, basically garnering Twitter interaction, farming Twitter, saying what they want to hear, and she's been doing that very successfully recently. And this was a massive story because of all the amount of crazy connections that Wilbur had. I mean, he was friends with Dream, Quackity, Tommy Innit. He had like huge YouTube connections. He was a part of the Dream SMP stuff. He had a big band. So a lot of people were coming out and being like, "You're a piece of shit. I'm gonna shit down your throat real quick." And honestly,
my question though is like, why do people wait until they're getting canceled for something sometimes unrelated, right? Obviously, like that one lady talking about getting drunk with him, that's kind of related. But like, why we sitting on that? I understand like being afraid to come out, but isn't it still good to get it out there? Yeah. I don't know. I've never been in that situation personally with like a big YouTuber, so I don't know what it's like.
Drama at this point has transcended anything he's done on YouTube in years. So you've got creators calling him out, you've got the fans are completely turning on him, and if the allegations are true, then there are a lot of people who knew him, like his friends and collaborators, Shelby's friends and collaborators, who were, in the know about the situation, were very upset about it. So past this point, what happens to Wilbur? Well, his main channel on YouTube lost 500,000.
God damn! I'd quit. I'd quit. Oh my god. Well, I mean, wait, out of 5 million? Never mind. I wouldn't quit. Yeah, I'll keep on chugging along. Never mind. For some reason, I thought you only had 1 million, so I was like, damn. From 1 million back to 500,000? Oh my god. Amazon hired me. But this...
subscribers after this happened.
Keep it up.
Which is a pretty brutal loss, if you ask me. A lot of people assumed his career was basically over at this point. He's losing subscribers. He's not going to be able to come back to YouTube without people calling him out. But one place he didn't lose a lot of subscribers, at least not as many, is on his band's channel, Lovejoy. Like I said, popular British indie rock band. There, he's got 1.3 million subscribers, and while they did lose 50k subs, I think you can kind of assume that the reason they didn't have as dramatic of a sub loss is that a lot of their following exists outside of the YouTube community. It's in a different space. I mean, if you look at the channel, some of these songs have over 10 million.
Wait. How many? Wait.
Was basically over at this point. He's losing subscribers. He's not going to be able to come back to YouTube without people calling him out. But a lot of people who knew him, like his friends and collaborators, Shelby's friends and collaborators, who were, in the know about the situation, were very upset about it. So past this point, what happens to Wilbur? Well, his...
Wait, when did this happen? Oh my god. Holy shit. This was 2 hours ago. Never mind. I'm sitting here looking at some kind of like, nothing's changed. What the hell? Where'd the people go? This just happened.
And while they did lose 50k subs, I think you can kind of assume that the reason they didn't have as dramatic of a sub loss is that a lot of their following exists outside of the YouTube community. It's in a different space. I mean, if you look at the channel, some of these songs have over 10 million views on YouTube alone. If you look at their Spotify, 3 of their songs have over 100 million plays. Like, that's a legitimate, like, pop star radio hit right there. They're a pretty big band, especially for a rock band in 2024 that came out recently. And like I said, some of the songs are pretty decent. So if Wilbur was going to come back anywhere, if he was going to come back to YouTube anywhere and even have a chance of having any kind of career, I think it kind of had to be on the band. It kind of had to be this music thing that exists outside of it. I mean, there's plenty of...
If I was Wilbur, right, if I was in these shoes, I would just focus on the music, right? Because, like, I mean, unless I don't... Wait, actually, let me check. Oh, I shouldn't have closed that tab. I'm a stupid, stupid man. But, if I was Wilbur, I mean, unless my views are tanking like crazy, I would just stick to... I mean, unless it's not tanking like crazy, I would just stick to music. Last time he posted was a year ago, and the last thing he posted was about the Sad Boys or Soft Boy. What is this? Is this a music video? I don't know what this is, but it was a year ago. That's the point. So I mean, yeah, he might as well just stick to music. I mean, kind of not changing nothing.
Of YouTubers who, like, people will stop watching if they're a shitty person, but as far as like music people go, it's not really the same. Like, Chris Brown still gets money after he, you know, after he went John Jones mode on Rihanna. Oh wait, that's literally a 1-to-1. Shout out John Jones, I guess. But he still had a career. There's lots of musicians who have had crazy allegations against them, and people still listen to their music. People still listen to R. Kelly, right?
Now pause the movie, cause what I'm about...
I do agree, because like music, like the difference between music and YouTube is YouTube is strictly for like entertainment, right? You watch people because you're entertained by them. And I feel like if they're a bad person, that entertainment value kind of diminishes because of the person they are, right? Like a streamer, like who was it? Bruce Off when he did that thing with Kai Cenat and Your Rage. I stopped watching him. I wasn't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I used to be a big Bruce Off watcher, but after that came out, I just couldn't watch him because he wasn't entertaining as much entertaining anymore. But music is always good, no matter who it's by, right? You can listen to a song that you don't know who it's by and you will like it. So I feel like you can, like, again, separate the art from the artist, literally in this situation. But YouTube, I don't know. YouTube isn't really the same way. At least not with like that type of content where it's very like focused around that person. I don't think it's easy to just like disconnect when that person is the content. You know what I mean?
Realistically, that's the only place he could ever come back. And I think he knows that, and that's exactly what he did.
I'm back from my break.
He's British.
I just want to make this quick video to briefly talk about what the four of us at Lovejoy have planned for the rest of this year. But first, I wanted to mention some stuff was said about me on the internet a couple of months ago. And if you haven't already seen, I responded back in February. That response is all I want to say on the matter for now. And yeah, I'd much rather talk about what the plan is for us going forward. So going into summer, we're going to be doing a tour of Australia. So if you live in Australia and you want to see Lovejoy play live, we really hope to see you there.
The weird part about it, though, like about these types of videos, is that normally when a YouTuber do something bad and they just try to get past it, they just won't acknowledge it, right? They'll just move past it completely and like stop acknowledging it. And typically, for better or for worse, it works. They just move on, and some people will remember and call them out on it, and some people will just start to forget about it. But for you to make a video trying to move past it, but then you acknowledge it in that video and explicitly say that you don't want to say any more in the matter, I don't know. You're just setting yourself up for even bigger failure. I think.
In a couple of months, we'll be releasing our new single, I'll Look Good When I'm Sober, which we've been working on for ages now, and we're really excited for you to hear it.
Weird song title.
Of course, we're very excited to get back into the studio, writing and recording, and we'll show you what we've got when we've got it. But yeah, I hope you're all well.
This video was posted to his Instagram, and it caused a lot of discourse on social media. On one hand, you have the few remaining Wilbur Soot fans from the Minecraft days who are like, oh my god, he's back, yes, I'm so excited that he's back. And then on the other hand, you have people who reply to that, who are in the know about the allegations or think he's a shit person, who say things like, this is funny because, just like Wilbur Soot, dolphins are sexual predators.
You know, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. Dolphins be doing some crazy shit in that water. I don't trust any sea mammal, whales included. You already know how I feel about whales. Y'all know how I feel about whales. You know, I'm telling you, those sea mammals, they're dangerous. Dangerous. You know, if you thought sharks were the problem, imagine seeing a dolphin. I would cry if I saw a dolphin in that water.
which is, I mean, it's funny. Now, one thing I found pretty weird about the whole Wilbur response from before, other than the fact that I've never seen a YouTuber take the route he's really taking when the backlash was so massive, is that he never actually addressed the accusation from Alice, which is basically the worst of the two. Like, what happened to Shelby, if it's completely true, is bad, very bad. Alice, I mean, her claim is basically that she got, you know, assaulted. I mean, that's pretty bad, and he never responded to that. He never said anything about it. In fact, he's never mentioned this Alice person publicly. Now, you can either take that as like he didn't think it was worth responding to because he's innocent, or it's not worth it because he's guilty. It's honestly hard to...
Like, even if you're innocent, I can't imagine, like, just, like, unless, like, it was, like, insane. Like, it was, like, an insane accusation. I was like, there's no way that's true. But for that to be said after what came out with Shovel, that is insane to ignore. Because that would be the time where you need to say it was not true. That would be when you need to say, you know what, I'm going to invest in Wilbur. I'm here for Cody.
To say because of the limited information we have around that encounter. All I know is one person said something happened, and Wilbur has been very vague about it all, and this specific thing he hasn't even talked about. Wilbur stood as proof that hatred and being a bad person makes you uglier, or cocaine. It might be cocaine. Dude, he looks the same as he's always looked. Gay as... Also... Did someone say cocaine?
Did someone say cocaine? Did someone say crack? Did someone say cocaine? Hey, buddy. You want to give
In his ISO speed arc, I see. All right. Well,
me some of that?
I just need a little bit. I just need a little.
Just a pinch. Just a pinch, laddie. Just a pinch of crack rock.
Please. Shelby Shovel herself also spoke about him coming back. She apparently has some inside information. She claims that he had to get a new therapist because he lied too much to the old therapist he had. And apparently his band doesn't really care about his personal development or him getting better. They just want to go on with the show. You know, they're music businessmen.
The whole...
what's the point of lying to your therapist? Like, that's, like, you're just wasting money at that point. The therapist can only help you if you're telling the truth. If you lie, the therapist can't help you. So now you're just wasting money. Like, I do love, I don't know if I mentioned this on stream yet, but I do love when YouTubers talk about how they went to therapy, and they're, when they come back and be like, I've been going through a lot, guys, after what happened. I've been going to therapy. My therapist said that I should come back, because that's what they would have wanted. Like, okay. Oh, okay, buddy. Let's calm down.
Thing about abuse is that it isn't about, you can't take these actions apart. It is the whole story. It is the whole picture. Abuse happens slowly over time. It's like, what do they say? Putting a frog in a pot of water and bringing it to a boil. It will stay there till it dies. But if you put a frog in a pot of boiling water right away, it'll jump out. It is slow over time. It is everything together as a big picture. It is all of the actions as one. This is all just really important information for me to repeat because I care about victims of abuse. I care about this being taken seriously. I care about people talking about abuse accurately. I've seen people say, take my story as full truth and say that it is not abuse simply. Because they don't believe biting can be abuse, they're implying.
Biting is completely abuse. Like, if we live in a world where we believe that anything that's not like punching or kicking or scratching or whatever isn't abuse, there's so many things that are just not going to be counted as abuse. Like, there's going to be so many. Like, if you're walking downstairs and I trip you down the stairs, that's not abuse. It was an accident, you know? My foot had a mind of its own. My foot wanted to just get a little sniff, get a little bite. Them dogs are biting.
Biting does not equal abuse inherently. Again, biting can exist without harm. Never the issue was biting. We can entirely remove it because it never mattered that it was biting. He was hurting me. It doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter that it was an unconventional mean. It was against my will. You can know that it is intentional because it escalated and it was repetitive. Those aren't an accident. They don't happen by accident. And on top of that...
I bit people by accident before. It happened. It truly does. You don't think it could happen? I've bitten people by accident. I've been bitten by accident. It truly does happen.
He did it in front of everyone we knew. And I said that, and people are like, their friends are believing her at her word. Every single one of our shared friends saw him do it. All of them. Literally everyone. He did it in front of everyone we knew, on a regular basis, constantly, even daily, in front of other people. He did it in front of his family. He did this in front of all of the people that we shared as friends, in front of my friends, in front of his friends, everybody. It was just known about our relationship by everyone we knew. It was seen by everybody. Not him biting me, him hurting me.
And none of your friends, like, well, she didn't say that they didn't say anything, but, like, none of your friends said anything? Like, did your friends, like, that's weird. Like, that's weird as, but, sorry, that's weird as freak, dude. That's weird as French toast, dude. What the heck? Like, again, if I saw my friend getting bit, and, like, not just like, oh, you know, but, like, you know, I'd be like, what the, what? It's hard not to curse. My mind was like building the tracks, but I'd be like, "What the, brother? What are you doing? Stop that! I'll get a spray bottle. You animal, back."
A very clear distinction between those two things.
I'll never get over how weird this specific allegation is. Okay, if I'm gonna say this, I need to get out of whatever I'm doing right now. He's biting her. Like, he can't stop himself from biting her, is what they're saying. Like, I can't even. Why is he biting? Why does he like biting? Why is he biting her? I remember her saying that, like, everyone knew he was into biting. Like, his mom knew he was into biting, and he would even do it in like a non-sexual context. He would just bite her in public. He just felt the need to like chomp down on some flesh. Like, what? I've never.
Wait, his mom or her? I mean, maybe he has some kind of mental disability. You know, maybe he got some mental disability that, like, I mean, clearly he's high functioning, so I mean, he's still liable for his actions. But you know, maybe he got something going on. Maybe something under the hood that hasn't been seen.
Never seen an allegation like this before.
Maybe
Wilbur Soot, more like Wilbur Minecraft zombie. Yes.
There's no text message in existence. There is only actually a message where at the very first mention that I find out he is someone who bites before I ever met him, my first statement about it is that it may never hurt. He may never bite me and it hurt. It has to always not hurt. It's just funny to me that you can say, I thought this was consensual. I have texts to prove it. I said it. I said it myself. And I said it again and again after as well. Not the issue. Was never the issue. It is manipulation. That was manipulative right in front of your face. So if you want to believe he's changed, that's who he is. That was the last thing he did, and then he doubled down on that gas apology.
You know what I did when I was bitten and I didn't like it? I would bite back. I would legitimately bite back. You know? I mean, it was a very weird place in the dog park, but hey, I had to show him that lesson. Okay, I'm not going to sit there and be bit against my will.
Apology. So that's who he is. Tried to manipulate you and is really still hoping that it works out so that he can carry on and not change. Because the truth is, he has not been in consistent therapy. His friends know that. He admitted openly to them that he had to start seeing a new therapist because he lied too much to his first one. And they are accepting of that. That is okay.
Somehow she has inside knowledge of whatever's going on. I guess someone from the Soot camp is leaking to her. Maybe they still have a mutual friend or something. But I'm just surprised that Lovejoy is powering through this so much, because not even that long ago, they felt the need to apologize because one of the members used to have a YouTube channel where he said the word. His name is Ash Kabosu, but I actually used to know this guy a little bit back in the day. We were in some group chats together, and he was called Cynic Snacks, which is pretty funny. He had like a pizza profile picture. You can probably find re-uploads on YouTube. Yeah, he was like almost in the commentary community. He made like movie reviews. He was hanging out around all the commentary channels. For some reason, Nicholas Diorio violently hated him. I not violently. He just hated him. I can't even remember why. He didn't like his cheese pizza persona, I guess. But yeah, this guy basically, he became a part of this band, and then he ended up posting this apology, which felt very, very insincere once people found his old tweets, and it was filled with like
I feel like we're, as content creators, like all content creators, I feel like they get to this point where it's like they apologize just for the look of apologizing, even if it's not, like, even if people know it's not genuine. It's the idea that it looks genuine and someone's gonna believe it is genuine, and that's all they need, right? But in my mind, it's like, why even apologize? You know what I mean? Like, if you don't mean it, like, why even waste the time? Like, even if I was in a situation I just truly did not feel apologetic, I just wouldn't apologize. I wouldn't even apologize. Like, stand on something. If you're gonna stand on something, stand on something. But don't be fake and not stand on anything, because then that looks worse.
Every buzzword you would ever expect from an apology of this nature, right? It's like the typical, almost chat GPT generated YouTube apology. There was an old account I used to make content for, and I should be open about it being behind me. Some jokes and comments I made were badly worded, in poor taste, and have never truly represented who I aim to be. They are snarky, sarcastic, and ignorant attempts at humor, hammed up to fit a persona that was rooted entirely in negativity, and I don't stand by any of it. Hence why I moved away from the account years ago. Even at the time, I knew it had got to a place I was very deeply unhappy with. I'm genuinely sorry to people that are offended by anything I said. But like, even saying,
yeah, that's so fake. That's so fake. That is so fake. Because look, okay, every content creator puts on a persona to some degree. Not every content creator is going to be the exact same way they are in these videos. And normally, when you make these personas, you're elevating a part of yourself. There's some part of yourself that is like the part that you want to show, and that's the part that you elevate. That's the part that you either exaggerate or make bigger or more boastful. So that is a part of him, right? Whether that is truly a part that he exaggerated, or that's just a part of him that's slightly more exaggerated. Like, even if he changed, that was a part of him. I'm so sick and tired of content creators pretending like they were never these people, or like that wasn't who I was. That was a terrible depiction of who I am. No, it was a good depiction of who you were. Like, whether were or is, that's still someone you were. Like, you gotta at least accept that at minimum.
this is crazy because what he said wasn't to any Lovejoy fans. It was to an audience that understood the humor, right? Like, it wasn't to them. It was years ago. Like, these people had to look for this to find it and then get offended on someone's behalf, I guess. I'm also sorry that this harmful rhetoric has been re-platformed recently, bro. The harmful rhetoric re-platformed. He said, I must be held to account. So thanks for bringing it to... It's like the most phrasing ever. Why would you ever type something like this? Cynic Snacks. I know the real based 4chan red-pilled Cynic Snacks is in there somewhere. Come home, please. Come home, babe. I love you. I also apologize for not having already removed the tweets. I lost access to the email, and inaction is a personal flaw that I'm working on. Inaction is a personal flaw I'm working on, bruh. Shut up. Just, you don't need to make this state. You know what? Maybe you do, actually, if you're in this, like, weird British indie pop.
It's that soft boy in them, man. Them soft boys get you. I don't know. I feel like I could be friends with someone who classifies as a soft boy. But it's like... I know there's gonna be just one day where I just have to sit down and just go, why? Why are you a flaccid boy? Why? Is it ED? You got that old erectile dysfunction? Is that why you're a soft boy? I'm sorry. Never mind.
Community of teenagers that watch you and are all mentally ill and use TikTok and think that they're non-binary or something. Like, maybe that is what you need to do, basically. Maybe that's the thing you need to do. Inaction is a personal flaw I'm working on. Being a gorilla is a personal flaw I'm working on. I've managed to regain access and remove the account now to prevent affecting anyone else. In short, I don't stand by the views expressed. I moved on a long time ago, and I'm sorry. This is just like, it's such a crazy thing to even say, because if you look up Cynic Snacks on YouTube and you actually like find any of the videos, they're not that bad. Like, he's just like reviewing movies in like a slightly sarcastic way with these weird animations. Like, he's not like espousing racism in the videos, okay? It's not that crazy. He's just like, today we're gonna be talking about the worst movie I've ever seen. I'm a pizza, by the way. I'm a pizza.
I'm a cat in a Minecraft house.
I was just talking about Def Noodles the other day. Where has he been? Like, I don't watch Def Noodles, but I remember he got into a debate with someone, and I remember all he was saying was like, it was a joke. It was a joke. You can't take the joke in question. He really pulled a Chris Rock. It was a G.I. Jane joke. Come on, you guys don't get it. You guys, so jokes are banned now.
I'm a cat.
As for the associated YouTube channel, I've made the videos private and spent the past few days reviewing them and reconciling my thoughts. Dude, I can't with this guy. As I haven't seen that content for a long time. The videos on the channel do represent a great deal of work and effort, as it was a project I spent a number of years on. I don't want to just delete it all and leave you to think it was all horrible and offensive, as this isn't the case. True, but the content was created for an entirely different demographic. Ashkabosu. I never imagined an account left dormant for years would be presented to this new audience. Myself and the internet at large has progressed a lot since the videos were created and uploaded. However, there's a lot of content on there that I'm still...
I truly do feel there's a certain age that we need to accept that content creators, well, maybe like back in the day, right? I feel like we should accept content creators back in the day are going to say some edgy stuff, right? I mean, not me personally, you know, God forbid, but but you know, some content creators, they're gonna be edgy like back in the early 2000s when things were more acceptable online. You know, I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that depending on what they say they should roam scot-free. But I'm saying that there should be some leniency, just a little bit, just a little, just a tad. Not this though.
Very proud of, and I know people will find enjoyment in, even if it is mostly me complaining about insignificant things, as was the original intended nature of the channel. Moving forward, I want to ensure anything that is public and associated with me continually aligns with my attitudes and beliefs. Thank you, Ash X. Well, thank God for aligning with the proper attitudes and beliefs now. And the funny part about this is you can actually like look into the tweets that people found. This tweet from Justin Wang, he found some of them. And here we have Cynic Snack saying, really don't feel comfortable with poor Tubbo stuck between James Charles and Michael Jackson. This guy says Michael Jackson literally isn't a pedophile. And Cynic Snack says he would 100% invite Tubbo to his Neverland ranch if he were still alive. Like, it's not even that bad. It's
I wonder,
a joke.
Do people like, what's the consensus on the whole like Michael Jackson Neverland thing? Is people really just like, no, not MJ? Or are people like, yes, MJ, yes, MJ? Like, I don't know, I don't look too much into it, but I would like to know like the global key census. I'm sure most black people don't think he was, because black people love MJ. Black people adore MJ. Oh my god.
At Michael Jackson's expense. The guy wasn't even that edgy, but now that he's in this like big pop band, I guess he needs to apologize. But also like that kind of doesn't work anymore, because now a lot of their fans think the lead singer of their band is a... So like, there's no response there. Does that really make sense? And that's why I think that this initial response is so fake. It's so transparent. But he has to make a big response when he gets caught, like, saying or something. Makes a lot of sense.
They want him back to work. They don't think that it's important to insist he do any significant amount of therapy first. Hell, a year at minimum. It isn't important for them to stay in his life for him to change. At this point, that's very clear. And I don't think that's a friend. I don't think those are friends. I think that's using him.
Wait. Let me rehear what she said there.
Big response when he gets caught, like saying
I might have heard it wrong
or something. Makes
if I heard that right,
sense.
then that's
they
interesting.
want him back to work. They don't think that it's important to insist he do any significant amount of therapy first. Hell, a year at minimum. It isn't important for them to stay in his life for him to change. At this point, that's very clear.
Okay. I completely misunderstood what she said originally. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, wholeheartedly. If they only care about their friend when it comes to the project that they can work on with them, then that's not friends at all. Not at all. Wholeheartedly. If you can honestly say to yourself that if your friend was in a situation where, let's say they were just struggling mentally, and your first thought is like, okay, you know, you got to get back to work on this project we're doing. You know, we got to make sure that you work on this project. You know, that's not a friend. A friend would care more about their mentality or mental ability, and also like make sure your friend takes accountability. Like, if you still decide to be friends with someone after this stuff comes out, whether you believe it's true or not, if you still decide to be friends with them, it's still on your part to make sure that they take some level of accountability for things they did admit to. Like, take some accountability. Like, you should push for him to apologize to this woman right here. You know, that's my beliefs.
Clear, and I don't think that's a friend. I don't think those are friends. I think that's using him, and I think that's how I feel about it. That's how it looks for me. If you're going to insist on keeping somebody that's done such horrible things in your life and be around them and support them, at least your job is to insist that you are seeing them be better.
Yeah,
you are seeing actions that are showing they're better.
So with all of that, Lovejoy has announced an Australian tour, which is kind of odd because they're from England and they haven't really toured in a while. So you would think like a tour in the UK would make more sense than a tour in Australia. A lot of people are saying there's no way they're going to sell tickets. I honestly have no idea. I don't know what these people's music listening audience is like. I wouldn't be shocked if some people go to their shows and like try to mess with Wilbur, but this one is really a toss-up. They do have 1 million, like I said, monthly listeners on Spotify, so they definitely have fans out there who will watch their listen to their music. But for now, it kind of remains to be seen. Also in the news.
Okay. Okay. I was debating about this. And we might just skip over the George is not found, just because I already know about it. So it's not really information that's like new, It's really just me rehashing things I already knew. And we're only here for the Cody Co. Like, let's not forget, this was only supposed to be about Cody Co. I did not sign up for all three guys originally. But I was like, let's look through this because I didn't hear about this. But we're gonna just skip over to this little time frame for Cody Co.
Boys, the girls are upset. This is hot off the presses, ladies.
If he has to convince you he's the opposite of a creepy man, he's probably a creepy man. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, I don't outwardly have to try to convince someone I'm not a creepy man, because I am one. I am a creepy man. All right? No, I'm just but no, it's like, it's weird that you would have to convince him.
This is hot off the presses, ladies and gentlemen, and it involves a beloved commentary channel by the name of Schmody Schmo. Now, we've been talking about this area of the internet a lot recently, like when I covered the Beaner allegations made against Danny Gonzalez.
If anybody else saw that video and was uncomfortable by it, I'm very sorry. I should not have been using that word.
Or when Danny apologized for drinking Starbucks, that was also a thing he did recently.
Gotta stay gay, gotta stay gay.
Genocide supporter alert.
But Cody is less politically, like, annoying, I guess. I don't even give a fuck about Danny Gonzalez's politics. Like, it's a fine to be a leftist. Like, it's not an inherently bad thing to be even just a Democrat or like left-leaning, or it's like, it's who gives a fuck. But like, apologizing for drinking Starbucks is just. But I haven't seen Cody apologize for anything dumb that I can tell. Anyway,
I apologize. No, actually, I don't. Go fuck yourself.
What? And he makes pretty funny videos with Noel Miller. They make videos about like Girl Defined, Jake Paul, Darman, and they made a really big impact online. They're another one of these channels that's heavily inspired by H3, and then they kind of like became honestly bigger than H3 was at his peak back then, you know, with like the commentary videos. Cody himself has 6 million subscribers. He's got a podcast with Noel, and they also have Tiny Meat Gang, which is the name of their music duo where they produce hip urban youth music bangers.
I put a face on my wood like a totem pole.
Pretty good song, I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed it. Well, according to Tana Mojo, the woman of the hour,
he f***ed me with a toothbrush.
Tiny Meat Gang is
what the what? We need to wait. I feel like that's not connected.
Is actually a real gang. It's reality.
I don't think Cody did that.
She said that Cody's dick is small.
He might have did it now. I can see the connection with that.
Dude! What the f***?
Not only that, she said the reason that she knows that is because she slept with him when she was 17 and he was 25. Tana has this live show. She does. I guess she's like touring around to promote her book. Who gives a f***? It's Tana Mojo, like at a live show. Who cares, okay? She was asked about who the smallest dick she'd ever been with is.
So wait, 17 to 25 is what? Let's count together, y'all. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 8. Wait, maybe I'm bad at math. Wait, 8 years seem like a lot. Holy shit. Like, I don't even know, like, 20, he said it was 25. 25 with a 17, like, even if he thought she was 18, like 18 and 25 is still crazy. Like, I'm 21 and I don't want to do anything with an 18-year-old.
And this is what she said.
Who's the smallest dick you've ever had sex with?
Oh my god, no one look at me, Cody Co.
Damn.
Delete the videos. I can say that. I was literally 17. I can say that. What? Sorry. Delete the videos.
Okay, 1, who goes these things? 2, I'm gonna believe that's real because she said that way too fast. It would be weird. It was like a weird ass. Like, I wouldn't be like, what's the weirdest person you ever slept with? Margot Robbie. You know, like, I wouldn't just like say some random ass name.
It seems that Cody Co has finally destroyed the BWC allegations, boys and girls. Okay, I, Cody Co, do not have a BWC, and I would never. That would be disgusting.
4 years. 4 years I've been editing this man's videos. Oh my god, it's so funny when the editor shrinks Cody. Nope. No shrinkage here, folks.
Hey, yo!
We're showers, not growers. and I'm showing you the truth right now.
Not only that, but according to Tana, she was 17 years old when it happened, which makes a lot of people feel pretty strange. They feel weird, uncomfortable even, okay? They feel kind of, whoa, hey, 17, big guy. Hey. And then you got some other people who are like, 17? What's the big deal? Now, what's very interesting about this to me is that
whoever said that, we need to check those terabytes. Because what?
This is the first time I've ever heard of this allegation against Cody, this story, okay? But years ago, people were talking about it. This is not the first time Tana has said this.
Oh, actually,
very
what?
young at that point in her life. Was she legal? Was she just on the verge? Who knows? But it's still very weird because Cody Co was in his mid-20s at that point. I believe 25, 26. So, like, either way, whether she was legal or not, it's just, like, a very weird dynamic to have. And she basically said how she hooked up with both of them, both JC and Cody Co. And people are now posting these kind of TikToks about it with, like, the clip from the podcast that she then edited out.
So Tana's been dropping hints about this for years. As Angelica there said, there was a podcast years ago where Tana said that it happened and then edited it out. But I'm a genius, so I did manage to find the clip right here.
That was very nice.
And that's not right. That's not correct. I know now. I was 17 at the time, 18. Like, that's not what you do, but at the time it was just like, oh, you think I'm this and you're treating me and calling me all these names and treating me really horribly and like using me for a lot of money and like,
If you're gonna say I'm cheating, okay, I'm gonna cheat.
and it's like if you're using me for mad money and making me buy hella shit for you and like, you know, forcing me to fly out to you just to be like super emotionally and like psychotically abusive, like shit, okay, bet. And so I started kind of hooking up with other people. Shout out JC Kalen, shout out Cody Co.
Don't.
Oh, Jesus.
And now it's blowing up again, causing everybody to talk about it. Another thing people point to regarding these allegations is this old video on Tana's channel titled The Shittiest Video Ever, where Tana and Cody appear to be flirting a lot. There's this moment where she gets up to walk away and he like stares at her ass.
Alright, so
Wait. I was looking at chat. Wait. I just found out about GNA. What's GNA? What's that? Is that something else? Something else from you react to? Something new?
Walk away and he like stares at her ass.
Yeah, that's 4K. Yeah, you're cooked. That's 4K double HD, buddy. How old was she when this happened? Is this like 17? I mean, maybe he's looking past her. Nope, never mind. Eyes went with it. Yeah. You're done.
Alright, so
That's a minor one, though. I mean, you know, he's looking. Looking isn't illegal.
Now, Cody has yet to say anything.
She had to be over 18. She had to be over 18. She had to. No way he would say that without at least her being 18.
About this publicly. The same applies to Noel Miller. He's never said anything about this publicly. They kind of are in their own world on YouTube if you really think about it. Like, funnily enough, they don't really rely on anyone else to make their videos. It's just them making content, reacting to funny stuff. They have their podcast. Sometimes they have guests, of course, but it's somewhat insulated. Like, they don't really need anyone else to do their thing, which is smart. And they also don't make content about allegations. They just make content laughing at which is, you know, good for them if you want like a strategy, I guess, to escape allegations or something, right? They're insulated from the rest of the community. And as for what if Tana said is true or not, I don't know, and you don't know. The only people that know right now are Tana and Cody. They are the only two people who could possibly know if it's real. So ultimately, we're just gonna have to wait and see if anything comes of this. Cody and his wife did just have a kid, so I feel like collectively they probably don't want to talk about this, whether it's true or not.
I'm sorry, but Otis? Am I reading that right? Otis? Is an American association. What they doing? Wait, Otis.
Otis.
You named your baby. I mean, I'm so like, hey man, that's your kid. You know what I mean? I can't judge. That's what you do with your baby is, I mean, not like that, but like what you name your baby is your baby. But just know, you'll never replace him. Never. Just keep that in mind, Cody. He'll never be him.
Considering they've got their hands full in other ways. Now, another allegation that's been floating around is that Cody had someone who is allegedly a at his wedding. They're all talking about this over on the Cody Co subreddit, and there's also a sort of secret uncensored subreddit called Cody Co Uncensored, genius name I know, where they talk about this stuff happening. And
guess what the acronym stands for? Good. Good niggas at America. That's the acronym. GNAA. You're welcome.
They're apparently in the main sub, they're being censored by some of the mods, but in this new sub, they're able to talk about whatever they want freely. Hey y'all, I tried posting before, but I think it got taken down for drama. I'd like this post to be left up so we can discuss the accusations. I love Cody, and I've been watching him as long as I remember, every video. However, now there is news about some controversy. I'd love to hear other Cody's fans' opinion on this. And to the mods, stop taking down posts about this and saying it's drama. Let me know your thoughts on this. I want him to address why he continues to be friends with someone who's assaulted a woman. The evidence that it happened, even without a conviction, is strong. He videotaped himself doing it. Why would you ever want a man like that around your spouse or your family?
Yeah,
they bring up this name here, Colby Leachman. They say he actively assaulted at least 2 women, according to the judge presiding over the lawsuit against Duke University. Watch the mods remove this fact you can find on public news websites and court records databases for drama. So what they're talking...
I mean, like, if that's true, where, like, it was very proven, like, it's recorded and everything, why is that nigga at your wedding? Like, I hate to do, like, guilty by association. I would hate to do that, but... You know what I mean? You know... I mean, you ain't seeing Jeffrey Dahmer at my wedding, you know what I mean? R. Kelly's not pulling up to my wedding, you know?
Talking about here is this guy Colby Leachman, like I said, Cody's friend who was at his wedding, and this subreddit is absolutely livid about this guy, and they're calling him a straight up... From what I can tell, it's a complicated situation from the court's perspective because Colby was never convicted and put in jail, and the lawsuit they're talking about was actually against the school. It was not against Colby or this other guy, his accomplice in the story, right? And Cody Co was not present for what these guys did. He's friends with Colby Leach, so they're saying that he's like complicit in what he did here, basically, right? And just to be clear, this is not an...
So wait. So the Colby guy was friends with the guys who did it. I'm not following. Maybe I just not a part of it. Why are you still talking about this GNAA thing? We're talking about Cody Co. What are we doing right now? We're losing the plot. Oh, I see what it stands for now. Hey, I was almost right. That's kind of odd that I was almost right. I got one of the words right. I got 2 of the words right, actually. So really, I'm doing 50%. That's a C. No, wait, no, that's no. That's an F. I failed. Never mind. Wait, you don't wait. What do these guys do? So wait, what? This is crazy, but you don't know who Cody Co is, but you know who GNAA is. You know what?
Accusation about Cody Co. It's Colby Leachman is what they're talking about, okay? Cody Co has not been accused of RAPE. Get your dick away from me. There's also this other big post that talks about some of the details. This person says, I'm seeing some truly nasty discourse about Colby Leachman, Cody Co's bestie and best man, because he was not convicted of... Not really in this sub, but in other ones. You need to know how cases typically work and the details of the case before opening your mouth. It is virtually impossible to get a conviction in a case like this. For the love of God, stop using the he wasn't convicted argument. You have no idea how disrespectful that line is to SA victims because almost none of us will see a conviction or even a court case against our orders in our lifetimes.
Conviction doesn't automatically mean that you're like not guilty, you know? Wasn't like I don't know.
It's bad enough that the lawsuit was filed in the first place, and let me tell you something. The corrupt legal system is not just in the movies. If you're a woman, a person of color, disabled, or poor, you know how the legal system works and who it serves. It is incredibly common for judges and other officials involved to be paid off by the wealthy. And what are you going to do about it? Go to court? See the issue here? Wealthy people also get lighter sentences and punishments for the exact same crimes as others. And don't even try telling me this white boy at Duke isn't wealthy. The white boy allegations, boys and girls. The white boy allegations are here to stay. Further, Ivy Leagues and other prestigious universities are notorious for how they handle SA on their campuses. I used to attend Johns Hopkins. I and a friend on 2 separate occasions were assaulted, as were 2 girls at a frat party. We were each treated like trash by the administration, and that is part of why I withdrew from that school. Duke has a long legacy of covering up for students of rich families. The victim of Colby was drugged and and there is even a video of the assault
God
they took.
damn.
She did not even have a full memory of it happening. This has been her consistent story. So tell me how someone who can't remember was able to consent with 2 men being that far gone, much less to herself being videoed. Even the admin in the school said the video was not consensual. A disciplinary panel unanimously found that there was not a preponderance of evidence that the men had violated Duke's sexual misconduct policies. Leachman entered a plea of responsibility that he violated Duke's policy with regard to unauthorized...
I think from now on, when we convict someone of sexual assault, we should chop off their penis, right? And if it was a woman, because women still do it too, we should take a sewing needle. You know what I mean? You know, yes, no, petition, link in the bio. You know, maybe it's a chance.
Surveillance,
definitely a deterrent.
photography, he was placed on probation. So you're telling me this guy and his friend definitely got consent to have sex with this very drugged girl, but just did an uncharacteristic oopsie when they videoed themselves doing it without consent? Drop the bullshit. Not to mention, the chief reason everything was justified is because after the woman didn't want to get into a years-long legal battle reliving her trauma. Here we have another quote saying, however, given Miss Kwayumi's clear statements in 2011 to Duke administrators that she didn't want to participate in any disciplinary proceedings and recurring statements of hesitation thereafter, no rational jury could find that Duke's response was clearly unreasonable. Eagles wrote in the ruling. This person goes on to write, considering less than 1% of actually get convicted, would you want to go through this with a bunch of rich families whose kids you? Even the judge in the case said he thinks they this woman and one other woman. The judge said that reasonable people might well think that more serious consequences would have been appropriate for the 2 accused students who, even under their own version of the facts, behaved horribly to Miss Koyumi and at least one other woman. Colby Leachman and Brian Self are Cody Co's best man was a so please, if you have
Wait, was Colby his best man? Because if he was his best man, that's beyond me. Like, it's one thing that you're just there, but best man status isn't. I don't know if this is him right here. I have no clue, but that would be insane.
Have no experience with this, please stop equating the legal system with truth and morality about assault of all things, especially if you don't even know the details of this case. We all know the legal system doesn't do anything. There was a lawsuit. Pretty sure I'd know if my best friend got involved in an SA case. Cody knows and he doesn't care. You will notice a lot of misogynistic microaggressions in his videos, as I have for years now. That is a crazy line. Anyways, stop speaking over SA survivors, especially in a case as obvious as this. I mean, this person makes some compelling points, honestly, in regards to the legal system in colleges. You know, people have been, we've heard about this for years and years, right? But the microaggressions thing is kind of, I mean, it's just funny. Misogynistic microaggressions. That in and of itself makes this post awesome. It's straight fire. But her retelling of events is clearly biased based on personal experience. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but this woman comes from a certain perspective and she's pasting all these links about statistics related to convictions. So I thought, why not look into this specific case a little bit and just read some of the articles that she talked about and see what I can glean from them, basically, right? I was curious what I would see here. So I found this article from the News Observer published about this case back in 2011. It's somewhat extensive. They go over everything that happened here, so I thought we would just read this together. The former student, Ariana Kwayumi, sued Duke, claiming that the university violated her rights under the federal Title IX law. And for those who don't know, Title IX is a federal civil rights law, and the idea behind it is that it protects people from discrimination based on sex and education programs or activities that receive, financial assistance. So basically, like, she's trying to hold the school responsible for discrimination she faced based on her sex or something that happened to her because of her sex. She claimed that she was drugged and by 2 students in 2011 and that one of them videotaped her being assaulted. Koyumi contended the university was deliberately indifferent and negligent in its response, ultimately leading her to transfer to another school. One of the men accused was the son of a Duke professor and stepson of the former Duke provost, Peter Lang, but the judge, Catherine Eagles, found that there was not undue influence by the parents on the process conducted by Duke. Further, Eagles wrote, the undisputed evidence establishes that Duke's response was not clearly unreasonable. The 2 accused former students, Colby Leachman and Brian Self, said the sexual contact was consensual. They were not criminally charged and were not found responsible for sexual misconduct during Duke disciplinary hearings. On 2 occasions, Duke police took the evidence to the Durham district attorney, who declined to prosecute. So basically, the boys here are saying it's consensual. That's what they said to the school during this disciplinary hearing, but there was not a criminal trial. The trial here that's happening is
if I was a lawyer, like lawyers, like, I know we always talk about how lawyers like heartless and all that, but the lawyers honestly got a crazy ass job. Because imagine you got to defend someone that does some despicable acts, and they know they did it, and they just gotta defend them. Like, imagine.
is after the fact, after these, there was this disciplinary hearing, and ultimately the kids weren't, I don't think they were kicked out of school, they were still there. Basically, this supposed victim, Miss Koyumi, she decided to come back to the school and say, hey, you handled my case in a up way, I'm going to sue you, basically. Evidence showed Koyumi walked into Duke's.
So what happened was, I'm about to mansplain on Mr. Tom Dark real quick. So what happened is that thing happened, the essay happened, then she went to the school handled it poorly, so then she sued the school because the school didn't do what they needed to do. Got it. Cool.
Student health center the day of the incident, but left without seeing anyone. She also left an anonymous note for a dorm advisor. Duke police tracked her down after rumors of 2 campus incidents of SA, and following interviews with Leachman himself, she told the police she didn't remember contact with anyone on the date in question and had not consented to any contact, according to the evidence cited in the ruling. So she's like, I don't even remember what happened. I was basically passed out. Duke's Association Dean of Students, Stephen Bryan, initiated an investigation. Administrators contacted Koyumi to say they needed her cooperation to go forward with the hearing, but she told Bryan she didn't want to be involved or talk about what happened. She took a leave of absence the next semester. In 2012, she told Bryan she wanted to initiate a disciplinary case, the court document stated, but it wasn't until 2013 when she submitted a written statement describing non-consensual contact and unauthorized recording. So this is what this person was talking about with the video. Basically, what this girl is saying is, I don't remember ever having sexual contact with these men, but they have a video of it happening, and I was passed out, so I was right. That's what she's saying. Very serious stuff here. Duke's Office of Student Conduct initiated disciplinary proceedings against the men and hired a clinical psychologist to investigate. A disciplinary panel unanimously found that there was not a preponderance of evidence that the men had violated Duke's sexual misconduct policies. Leachman entered a plea of responsibility that he violated Duke's policy with regard to unauthorized surveillance and photography. So he copped. He was like, look, I filmed her. That's the wrong thing I did. That's the fall that he took there, right? He was placed on probation. Disciplinary proceedings were not launched by Duke until 2 years after the incident. However, Miss Q, I'm going to call her Q, I don't know how to say this. Given Miss Q's clear statements in 2011 to Duke administrators that she did not want to take part in any disciplinary proceedings and recurring statements of hesitation thereafter, no rational jury could find that Duke's response was clearly unreasonable. So
this is so crazy that this is, I kind of forgot, but this was all tied to Cody Ko and Tana Mojo. Not Mojo, what's her name? Tana Moju. Is that her name? I forgot. But I forgot this was all connected to that. But this is really just like, this is kind of like a whole different thing. I'm not gonna lie. But this is kind of like to incriminate Cody because he has someone that has been at least accused of doing this at his wedding. As potentially his best man, I think. Maybe.
This is what the judge
and the names
wrote.
are similar.
And basically what they're saying here is like, given that, the college tried to do a further investigation and Miss Q didn't want to cooperate, you can't say that the school did anything unreasonable because, if you are not willing to be a part of the investigation, there's not that much they can do. The judge said that reasonable people might well think that more serious consequences would have been appropriate for the 2 accused students who, even under their own version of the facts, behaved horribly to Miss Q and at least one other woman. So she's basically saying here that like these guys are pieces of shit. That's what the judge is saying. Like, it's reasonable to think that they probably should suffer more, but ultimately, because at the time the investigation didn't happen, there wasn't more of a disciplinary hearing because Miss Q, the victim, didn't want to get involved here. Ultimately, it's kind of like you can't hold the school responsible. The school tried to do the best they could in this case, at least according to this, court hearing, investigation, the judge, whatever. She said certain Duke failures in 2011 could be second-guessed, but the court does not evaluate Duke's conduct with the benefit of hindsight or in a vacuum. So this is like a case summary we just read here. You can see what the judge said. Based on all the publicly available stuff, we know that at the very least the judge thinks that these guys did something wrong. The judge thinks that these boys behaved horribly, but ultimately they weren't convicted. That's what this Reddit poster was talking about. They were saying like, look, sometimes we don't get convictions, sometimes it doesn't go through that way. Just because it's not, proven in a court of law doesn't mean it didn't happen, which is, technically true. They're not really wrong, but yeah. So one thing I did find is that in the initial lawsuit, where basically, Miss Q got a lawyer to help take the school to court, they claim that Colby lied about the existence of a video of the event to the police. This Colby kid apparently lied to the cops. Leachman is the stepson of then Provost Peter Lang. And for those who don't know, a provost at a college is like a very senior member of the school administration. They're basically, they're very high up in the school hierarchy, right? So they're saying that he is the stepson of this Peter guy who is high up in the school. Leachman lied to the police about the existence of a video recording of a portion of the sexual incident, but admitted to recording it after the police obtained the video from his phone, according to the suit. It cited a campus police investigator who said Leachman's admitted...
So he lied, and then they found out he was lying, and then he admitted to it. I mean, I don't want to just like say they should just be like, oh, well, you lied once, you can lie about anything. But that is kind of how I feel about it. I mean, like, if you lied about this part of the story, I would be more inclined to believe that you're lying about the bigger problem.
Conduct was a state felony. Now, keep in mind, the point of this lawsuit, once again, was to take action against Duke's faculty, not to take action against Colby. The reason the school wasn't found responsible for their response in the situation is because the alleged victim didn't want to take part in the school's disciplinary hearings. Does that mean that she lied? No, of course not. It might just mean that she's traumatized. But now the question fans are asking is, 1, did Colby Leachman rape her? And 2, if Cody Ko is friends with Colby, does he know what Colby did? Is he an asshole by extension? And this is kind of being piled onto the Tana thing. It seems like there's a bunch of stuff.
You know, I'm gonna give Cody a benefit of the doubt in this situation, because if it was in 2012, it depends on when they started becoming friends, right? Because if it was in 2012 and they didn't become friends until like 2019, I'm gonna say that he probably didn't know, just because of the idea that like this whole Cody Ko thing already been like talked about before now, and I didn't know about it. I didn't know about it until like right now. Granted, I didn't watch Cody Ko, and I'm obviously not friends with Cody Ko, but you know, I guess information can die out, or information can be lost to time, if you will.
Mounting. And there's also much less serious grievances, like, I guess people are mad because Cody didn't say that he hated Andrew Tate.
I wasn't one of the people that was actively hoping for like an entire hour-long breakdown by them, but I would at least expect them to go at him with the same energy that they've gone after other alpha males, at least.
So where does that really leave us? Where does that leave us at the end of this allegation? Well, ultimately, I don't really know. We gotta wait for what Cody says, basically. We don't know what he's gonna say, if he says anything at all. Ultimately, I don't feel a high level of personal investment in this case, because, you know, I like Cody Ko's content, but I'm not like a mega fan or whatever. But for a lot of his fans who really like him and want him to be a good person, this is kind of a rude awakening for them to the possibility that maybe he's not a great guy. But ultimately, we don't really know. So I'd like to know more details about this, if there are any. I think past this point, it looks like Wilbur Soot's going to keep continuing his career indefinitely if he can. I don't know if that's going to work out, but he's certainly going to try. Meanwhile, George Not Found could continue his career, but for some reason he hasn't in 5 months. Cody Ko is either just going to push through all of this and keep making his normal videos, or he's going to respond to the relatively small minority of people who want a response.
Okay, that's cool. Cody Ko hasn't posted a video in 2 weeks. But like, it seemed like he stopped making videos around a month ago, consistently. So I don't know. This is I feel like he's gonna say something. Well, yeah, I feel like he's gonna say something. This is a pretty damning thing, because like, it'll be one thing if this was from a smaller YouTuber, right? Because normally bigger YouTubers just steamroll accusations from small YouTubers most of the time, and then they just kind of move along. But Tana Mojo, I mean, even I remember her name from like back in the day. Yeah, she has a similar amount of followers. So yeah, I feel like this is something I would have to, like, the 17 part, he'll have to like say something about. Like, I don't care about the small penis, like that. I don't care about that part. But the 17 part is definitely something that you have to say. You gotta like either deny or unfortunately confirm. But that was a cool video. Thank you, Mr. Tom Dark. Goodbye.